It is party time. Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. We're in the Mothership Studio 22. Going to get to some things we have not gotten to this week, and there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, not the least of the which is the fact that Joe Biden issued a statement just 2 days ago regarding elder abuse awareness. You can't make this stuff up. Hey, Mr. President, if you're under duress, blink twice, okay? We're here for you. We're here to help you. Oh, my gosh. Kayla, Chris, and Brandon at the helm driving us into the nether regions of all things insanity. Tayler Hansen's back in hot seat. Glad you're back. Things we didn't get to yesterday, I want to get to them today. First of all, it's a fun story. There's a gas station manager who was fired for accidentally setting the price of gas at 69 cents per gallon. Cost the gas station $16,000. But the people were happy. I'd have been sitting there with Walmart bags and everything, putting gas any way they could. But anyway, yep, that's a crazy one. I think we're going to see $7 a gallon. I think it's coming. It's bad news. World Health Organization, I don't know if you heard this story, they are renaming monkeypox. It's racist. It's racist. Now, I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but literally no one was thinking about that except the racists, the people who decided to rename the deal, right? So they want to avoid the stigma and racism. Well, it is that. There's no doubt about it. So anyway, but they don't want people associating the word monkey with black people. Literally nobody was associating monkeypox with black people. They were associating it with gay people. That's what it's associated with. You sucking on that banana. It's monkeypox. It's monkeypox to me. Mama called it monkeypox. I'm going to call it monkeypox. Monkeypox to me. It'll always be monkeypox. Rename it all you want. And then, of course, NPR, my favorite news source, they are now using the phrase people who menstruate instead of women. They're getting mocked mercilessly on social media, as they should. Do you menstruate, Tayler?
I do.
You do?
Yeah, quite consistently. I also lactate.
You lactate?
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I figure if you just suck on it hard enough, something will come out.
Oh, yeah, something eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's blood, pus, anything. I mean, it's all the same, right?
Lord have mercy. If you're a man and you menstruate, says one person, where are you putting the tampon? Serious question. I want a serious answer. Nobody
I can answer that.
Yeah, where are you sticking it?
That's in my ass.
Just right your butt. Oh, my Lord, have mercy. The world has gone crazy. I'm telling you guys, the episode yesterday, if you missed it with Tayler, recounting his experience on January 6th, very telling, very revealing. It's stuff that nobody wants out, and I guarantee you we're going to get censored on the tube of you. YouTube is going to censor that episode. That's why you've got to be subscribed to BlazeTV. Go to blazetv.com/Chad. I need the credit for it. Remember, we're well on our way to 100,000 subscribers just from this show alone. I think we've gotten 75. We got a ways to go. Come on, people, step up. Put your money where the mouth is, or where my mouth is at least, and use promo code Chad. It'll save you on an annual subscription as well. You can even watch other people like Stu. I don't know why you would, but you can. But you need to check it out, because that's one place you're not going to get censored, and you can see everything. Are you affected by climate change? Like, is it daily bugging you?
Every day. Yeah. Every single day, I wake up and I just think of the impending doom that we're facing with the glaciers melting. I mean, just the air pollution. I mean, what are we going to do about this, Jim?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe go buy a house at the beach. Do all the elites do.
Yeah, I mean, those it shows you how big of an issue it is when they're buying $1 million mansions on beachfronts in Florida and in Washington.
Yeah, and now, we had sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS. We know about that. Now we've got the sudden adult death syndrome, which could have something to do with, I don't know, what could be causing something like that. They're blaming it on climate change. That's one of the news stories.
That's got to be it right there.
Yeah.
I mean, Not the weird stuff people have been putting in their bodies or been forced onto from the government. But no. It's got to be climate change. It's got to be the air.
Medical industry's never harmed anybody.
Oh, they're fully honest. Big pharma, I mean, they have your best interest in mind.
Well, apparently, there's some stuff going on at Yellowstone, not the show, Yellowstone, the national park there. They're getting some flooding. Play that clip.
There is a possible climate connection here, which in addition to all the rain they're having more melting than usual.
Exactly. And it was intense heat high in the Rockies. And again, that's your water tank. You want it to be consistent and slow and predictable, because that water hopefully is going to get you through to the fall. But when it's that warm up there, it comes down so fast, that's troubling as well. Climate attribution science is fastly developing. It takes a while to say, all right, this wouldn't have happened without man-made global warming by X percentage. But it's all consistent with what the scientists have been telling us for a long time. More intense weather events more frequently.
Yeah, that's right. There it is. He said you want that to be consistent, slow, and predictable. Like sounds like my sex life. Well, that's true as well. Joe Biden, I never want to associate Joe Biden with my sex life. Neither one of them has a head that thinks. Joe, speaking of Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, caught on audio. You know, people just don't know how to research anything. I put this on Twitter, and people are like, how do you know this? Good God, people. Research a little something. If you use anal F, 69, which was his password on his computer, anal 69, you can actually hear some things that are on his laptop. There was an audio obtained by the Washington Examiner from Hunter's laptop, and he said, I can get anything done. Have you got that clip? Yeah. Play it real quick.
He's going to talk about drug reform and any other thing that I want him to. He'll talk about anything that I want him to, that he believes in. If I say this is important to me, then he will work a way in which to make it a part of his platform. My dad respects me more than he respects anyone in the world, and I know that to be certain.
He was high as a friggin' kite right there.
Smartest person Joe Biden knows.
What'd you say, Chris? Does he respect him?
He respects him so much that he sends his dad porn links every once in a while. So
you saw that?
Yeah.
He sent his dad some porn. Hey, pops, you big guy, you might enjoy this one.
Out.
You might like. I'm not gonna go into categories, but yeah.
Please,
one category. Hey, Dad, check out this rimming.
Maybe a little incest in there too. No biggie.
Could be. Hey, here's a porn star named Jill. See, that's the difference between Biden and Trump. Trump actually does the porn stars. Wow, wow, wow. I've been really trying, baby. I mean, whatever. I ain't lying about it. It's the truth, Taylor. But, you know, we always thought Barack Obama was pulling the strings for Joe Biden. No, it's a crackhead's son. He said, I can get my dad to say anything. I can get my dad to do anything. Whatever I say, he makes it policy. That's scary. It's scary because he believes that, and he believes it because I'm pretty sure it's true.
So this is what happens when a crackhead runs our country. Interesting.
Yeah. You got a cracked head and a crackhead.
Explains all the fentanyl coming over.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about the January 6th hearings because nobody's talking about that. Let's see. Good Lord. Biden office official, dismisses low consumer confidence. Play that clip real quick.
Consumer confidence at the lowest in 70 years, lower than the Great Recession, lower than the stock market crash of the 80s, lower than after 9/11. What can the White House do, or will it do, to instill some confidence in the American people and the economy?
Well, it's important to first level set on where we actually are economically, and we are in a transition. We are moving out of what has been the strongest economic recovery in modern American history to what can be a more stable period of growth where we don't have to sacrifice all of those economic gains. And the key, I think, here is that we face real challenges, and prices being first among them, but we also have real economic strengths. The strength of our labor market, the strength of household balance sheets, where notwithstanding people are reporting low confidence, they are also reporting record highs in terms of financial stability.
These people are just straight lying to you. I mean, they think you're that stupid, right? Do you have consumer confidence?
All of it.
I mean,
all of it.
Again, shrinkflation. We talked about this earlier in the week. Shrinkflation is not what you get when you see Joy Behar in a bathing suit. That is not what that is. That is when they put, 7 pounds of ice, but the bag says 10 pounds of ice. That's what that is. Or they put less toilet paper on a bigger roll, so you think you're buying the same toilet paper.
You're a conspiracy theorist. No way that
100%.
It's not here in America.
I'm encouraging people, I dare you, take your scales to the store when you go shopping. Because there's people out there doing it. They've been doing it for a long time. Price is just going higher on less product. They've been doing it for a long time. Trust me, I've been wiping my ass for 49 years. And I know how long it takes to go through a roll of toilet paper. And it's going quick. Either that or I'm shitting more. I don't know. It could be. I'm not quite, at that point, Joe Biden's level. The other thing that I love, there were a couple of clips that I love. Of course, I don't want to talk about that. They asked AOC to endorse. Would she endorse Biden? And she danced all around that with Dana, whatever her name is, Bosch. I can't think of her name. But she was like, that's not an answer. And so AOC danced around that. That was awkward. But then you had Don Lemon. We had, how do you even say her name? Catherine Jean-Pierre, whatever her name is, the press secretary. And he said, do you think he's mentally fit, basically? Do we happen to have that clip? Can we play it?
Does the president have the stamina, physically and mentally, do you think, to continue on even after 2024?
Don, you're asking me this question.
Watch Don's
my gosh.
face.
He's the president of the United States. I can't even keep up with it. We just got back from New Mexico.
Sure.
We just got back from California.
Can't keep up with his diaper changes.
That is not a question that we should be even asking. Just look at the work that he does. Look how he's delivering for the American public. Look, that article that we're talking about is hearsay. It's salacious. That's not what we care about. We care about how are we going to deliver for the American people? How are we going to make their lives better? That's what the president talks about. That is his focus. And that's where we're going to continue to focus on.
Well, it's not salacious when one of the Obama officials said, yeah, the guy's he doesn't have it. He's not all together.
Well, you can tell how honest she was being by how many times she stuttered.
Yeah,
she definitely believed in what she just said right there.
Well, and why deflect? Why not just answer the damn question?
Yeah, it's kind of weird to see Don Lemon and all these other mainstream journalists, these hacks, actually asking real questions for once.
Asking real questions. I think they're seeing there's merit in it, and I think their careers have been in the absolute dump. I mean, they've been in the toilet because they've pandered for so long, and they're starting to see that they've got to get real with this stuff.
Before we go to break, she said it's hearsay, right? She said it's hearsay. How about this clip? How is this hearsay?
And all of it's an embodiment of so many of you here today. Leaders in civil rights like Karen Nagasaki and Karen Korematsu. Where are you? Where are the Karens? There you go.
Not her name.
Did he say Nagasaki?
Nagasaki, Karen Nagasaki and Jill Hiroshima. And let's give a shout out to Enola Gay, too. Enola Gay, here we are. Wow, hearsay. It's salacious. He's a friggin' moron. I heard, I don't know. I've always said Joe's a moron. People argue that. I heard Steven Crowder say the other day, he's like, I don't think Joe was that dumb when he was younger. I was like, I disagree. I think he was dumb. I just don't think he lacked in confidence.
He was just a segregationist. No,
just a segregationist. Yeah,
just a segregationist.
Don't you miss lunches with Strom Thurmond? I mean, don't you just wish that, Robert Byrd was still here? I posted the eulogy on Tuesday. I posted Joe Biden's eulogy of Robert Byrd, and just what a great person Robert Byrd was, former KKK member. But, these racial jungles out there, sometimes they get in your head. And when you get black people on the bus with your kids, you just don't know how to deal with all that stuff.
They're just as smart as white kids, okay?
And they're just as smart as white kids, and they're clean, And don't forget, folks, you know who called Joe Biden a racist? Kamala Harris, the very first debate in the primaries. That's right. She said, I don't want to call you a racist. I don't think you're a racist. But then she went on to accuse him of racism. Amazing how that happens. All right, let's go to a break. We got to come back. We're going to talk about this book right here, Postmodern Guide to the Postmodern Pilgrim's Progress. Let me get it right. Kyle Mann, Joel Berry's going to be on with us. Joel Berry's coming on. Babylon Bee, it's the new one. You're going to love it. Did you read where this Arizona real estate agent found the home she lived in? It was listed for sale. The problem was she was still living in it, not selling it. She was a victim of home title fraud, a devastating crime that's happening all over the country. According to the experts at Home Title Lock, the crime's incredibly profitable, hard to detect. Identity thief just simply creates a fake title transfer for your home. He finds it online, and he refiles as a new owner, and then he takes out loans on your home, or they can even sell it. Typically, identity theft services don't cover you, and neither does homeowners insurance, but Home Title Lock does. Home Title Lock puts a barrier around your home's title. And the instant they detect anyone tampering with your home's title, they're going to help shut it down and help get your home back in your name. Here's what you do. Go to HometitleLock.com. Read the testimonials that are there. Then register your address to see if you're already a victim. They'll tell you. You may not even know it. And when you protect your home, tell them Chad sent you. Go get 30 free days of protection. HometitleLock.com. Put my name in there. Tell them I sent you. It's HometitleLock.com. Be right back. Folks, I thank God every day for the day that a friend of mine, a college roommate, said, have you ever heard of Babylon Bee? And I said, no, I had not. This was years ago. And I looked him up, immediately fell in love. It changed my life. Welcome back to the program, Joel Berry from the Babylon Bee. Joel, it's good to have you. How are you, man?
Doing well. Thanks for having me, Chad.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Always a pleasure. And usually if we have you, that's because you got new content out or a new book. And you do have a new book that you wrote with Kyle Mann, The Postmodern Pilgrim's Progress. Of course, I'm thinking this is not John Bunyan, and you didn't write this from prison as he did the original Pilgrim's Progress. Give me the inspiration on this book, because your last book, Babylon Bee Guide to Wokeness, I think I bought 17 hard copies of that, gave them as gifts, and I reference it all the time. And I've read the advanced edition of this. I'm in love with it. Going to do the same thing with this book. What inspired this book?
Yeah, so Kyle has had this idea in his head for a long time. For many years, he's kind of wanted to do this reimagining of the Pilgrim's Progress, which, for anyone who doesn't know, I think a lot of people are familiar with the original work, but John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress is considered one of the great works of English literature, arguably the first English novel. And if you go back several hundred years, it's the best-selling book behind the Bible, and it's an allegorical tale. It's a retelling of a dream by the author, and it kind of recounts the story of a Christian going on a journey through the Christian life, and it has many lessons along the way. Obviously, a book that was very instrumental in Kyle's life as well as mine growing up. And a couple of years ago, he approached me and said, hey, I want to do this thing where we kind of rewrite or reimagine Pilgrim's Progress. What do you think? And I thought, well, that sounds a little crazy. I mean, this is one of the greatest works of English literature. I don't know if we can do that. But what's cool about it, I think, is that it really fits well with what we already do at the Babylon Bee. And I'll explain what I mean by that. The original Pilgrim's Progress, it is a very serious book. It's very on the nose with its lessons and things like that. But it does kind of have a bit of a satirical edge to it, and there is some humor. I think some of it is unintentional humor, but you have these moments where Christian runs into this guy, and the guy's name is Fool, and Christian listens to Fool's advice, and we're like, Christian, his name is Fool. Why are you listening to this guy? So there is a bit of kind of dry humor to it that we thought fits very well with the Bee, and we thought this was a good chance to kind of address a lot of the modern issues that Christianity is facing today, that we as Christians are facing in our walk. and to do it in a fun way with some Babylon Bee humor thrown in, and it was really fun to write.
And this book, of course, I'm not giving anything away. It talks about a young man. He's an agnostic. He goes to church on a promise. From his brother's deathbed, he makes a promise to his mother. He's going to visit a church. He goes and a video projector falls on his head, knocks him out, and that is you enter into the dream or the allegory, if you will. This is a fun read, but it's people go to the Babylon Bee, and of course, if people haven't heard of the Babylon Bee at this stage in the game, you're living under a rock, right? You expect fun, funny, satire, smart stuff that you want to say, and it's gotten you guys in quote unquote trouble with the cancel culture mob out there, and kudos for that, and for keeping it up. But this actually takes you somewhere in a fun journey with a powerful ending to it that I think can be very life-changing for people.
Yeah, I think a lot of the feedback that we've gotten from it is that, people were expecting humor. It's from the guys behind the Bee, obviously. But I think what a lot of people weren't expecting was, we talk about tragedy. We talk about grief. We have loved ones who die. And we try to paint that in a very stark and honest way. I think something that I guess a thing that a lot of Christian literature, Christian movies, Christian stories these days, what they often do is they can kind of trivialize some of that stuff. They can kind of shy away from it. Mm-hmm. Some of those really difficult questions that cause many people to question the existence or the goodness of God. And we wanted to face those issues honestly. And so a lot of people expected to laugh reading this book. Not a lot of people expected to cry. And we're getting a lot of people writing to us saying that, I wept as I read this book, which is kind of mind-blowing feedback. But, we are addressing issues in the church. We are kind of skewering different things about Christian culture, but it is also a very universal journey that I think many people who read this book will see themselves at different points in this journey and see their own experiences. And we hope that it's encouraging to people in that way. That one of the kind of the main themes of the book is that, in this world that where answers don't come easily, a lot of our institutions and our churches and our leaders have failed us in so many ways. Sometimes we don't always see around the corner, and we don't always have good spelled out reasons for the horror and the tragedy that happens all around us. Yeah. And sometimes all that's left for us is to do the next right thing, to take that next small step of obedience in the darkness when all seems lost. And so I've really been encouraged by how people have related to that journey as they've read the book.
It's interesting to me, you guys, you started out doing Christian satire, and it was obviously faith-based, and then you kind of you've taken a foray into the political realm because, that's my philosophy. If the politicians are going to keep writing the jokes, we're going to keep telling them, right? It's just easy, low-hanging fruit at this point. But to me, this kind of brings you back in a lot of ways to some of those original roots of the faith-based storytelling, and with this book, and again, Pilgrim's Progress, Bunyan's work certainly influenced and impacted my life as well. You can pick out where you are on Christian's journey in Pilgrim's Progress, and it's amazing to watch this. So my question is, because you guys, you from time to time take what I think is some holy irreverence, if you will, and you take some shots at organized church, the pat answers like God will never give you more than you can handle, and mom's at her son's deathbed said, this is more than I can handle, and this was more than my son could handle. He's dead. Do you guys get a lot of pushback from the church in America?
We do, and it's funny. I think no matter which way your satirical cannons are pointing, there's always going to be a select few that will write in that is mad that you're kind of making fun of their side. So right. When we're making fun of Democrats, obviously we get that. When we're making fun of Republicans, we'll get a lot of mail saying hey guys, remember who your customers are. Remember what side you're supposed to be on here. And the same thing with Christians. We get some people who don't like that. But I think as a satirist, it's important to not just be on any one side or any ideology. We're on the side of truth, so we have to be willing to point our cannons in any direction. I think we also try to do it with the self-awareness that we're all in the same boat. Our churches do some silly things sometimes. Different denominations do silly things, but we're all kind of silly. We all fall short. We're all sinful. We all make mistakes, and so I think if you can do it with that kind of good-natured sense that we're not being condescending here. We're in the boat too. We're making fun of ourselves. It's important to remember that, even as we make fun of, mega churches, you'll see us making fun of prosperity pastors and things like that throughout the book. We're doing so with the awareness that, we're also making fun of ourselves, because every one of these characters and every one of these sinners and flawed people in the story, there's a little piece of us in each one of them. Yeah,
I know, and I always encourage people to go back and Google some of my old videos when I did the spoof satire of the Reverend Swindle. I say Google Chad Prather, Reverend Swindle, and we did a fantastic thing on that. Boy, a lot of people hated it, but we were calling out the problems that were there. So I can relate to that, certainly. And certainly with the humor, for every finger you point at people, you got three pointing back at you. So
that's right.
Man, I'm so proud of what you guys do. You're in the fight, and you're relevant, and your voice is just clarion clear, and I'm so thankful for it. This is a great book, and this is the Guide to Wokeness. Everybody should have it. It should be sitting on your coffee table. You should reference it off it. Everybody should be buying that book. But this book right here is life-changing, and I appreciate you guys writing this thing, and I want you to pass those regards on to Kyle as well. What's next for you guys? Y'all have any big projects at this point you can announce?
Yeah, so this October we're having another Babylon Bee guidebook coming out. This is going to be the Babylon Bee Guide to Democracy. So we're just in time for the election. If you want to understand how our democracy works, this is going to be your definitive guide. So look out for that one.
I love it. Listen, Joel Berry, keep writing books. We'll keep having you on this show, man. I appreciate you. God bless you. Praying for you, man. Thanks for being on, man. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you, Chad.
You bet. Hey, guys, you've heard me talk about them before many times. I'm going to be hanging out with them, actually, on Friday night in Oklahoma at my show. Trucker Treats, the nation's best seasoned gourmet pretzel company, 100% made in America, all seasonings, ingredients, even the packaging and the bags. Zach is a trucker. He started Trucker Treats as a way to give back to the industry. It's a family business, customer service centered, providing personalized service to the highest quality products. Folks, they've developed these incredible flavors: the original Cool Ranch, Hot Cajun, Cinnamon Toast, Dill Pickle, Bacon Cheeseburger, Candy Cane. You can get it anytime. Just give them a shout. They got the new Deli Mustard, which is my new favorite. Almost sold out after everyone wanted to unlock a new way of eating pretzels. They went after it, folks. Here it is. If you missed it, go buy the Dill Pickle, Bacon Cheeseburger, and the Deli Mustard pretzel. And when you get the pretzels, eat them at the same time. Bam. New flavor unlocked. We see you, folks. You've been buying it in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Georgia. We're getting the reports back. We love that combination, folks. I urge you to support our truckers. Please go to truckertreats.net. Truckertreats.net. Get 40% off with promo code CHAD. I spell it Chad. Makes a great Father's Day gift, a great snack for those summer-long trips, and it'll keep the kids quiet, too. Truckertreats.net. Use promo code Chad. We'll be right back. All right, so you need to be following Tayler at Tayler. That's Tayler with an E-R.
The correct
USA.
way to spell it.
Is that it? Is that the one?
Yep.
You've been saying that your whole life. At Tayler USA.
It's okay. Even my family members spell it wrong.
You've been pretty engaged in this whole drag queen thing with the kids there. I mean, you've shot some video. You've been at these events, and it's getting kind of pervasive. Across Texas, even. I mean,
that's to say the least.
We've got one coming up in the Woodlands that's advertised for all ages. We had one, of course, at Mr., which was the gay bar. Kids were there. We've seen the pictures of them shoving the money in the underwear and all this kind of stuff. What the hell's going on?
grooming and child abuse at the highest level. There's no other way to explain it. I've seen a lot of stuff while reporting on the ground, and I had to dress in a tutu. I will say,
you dressed up.
I dressed up.
I mean, you went all gonzo journalist on that one.
And what's nice about this community, compared to going undercover with Antifa or BLM, is the whole community is founded on not asking questions. It's disrespectful to ask questions in this community. So, I walked right in with a tutu and, a little pretty pronoun shirt on, and they thought nothing of it, even though I was recording the whole time. I mean, and this happens over and over again. I covered another one in Austin recently. You had these peoples, I don't know if it was a man or a woman, shaking it for little kids, just like at the last event. Nip slips left and right. It's just the highest level of perversion, and they're trying to play it off as education.
And I've seen video from various like pride parades and stuff where the kids are trying to look away because they're seeing something they know is indecent. And I'm seeing the parents like force them to watch. Like they're turning their heads and making them watch this. You're right. This is child abuse. And people keep telling me that it's not happening. Is it really happening? Is these things really going on?
No, Chad. The videos, they must have been, some advanced AI software. Someone faked those. Every single one of them. All the hundreds of videos.
Photoshop.
Yeah, it's all Photoshop. Everything.
Yeah, CGI.
Deep fake.
There you go. It's CGI. Those kids aren't real. And I can't get in the head. I cannot understand what in the hell is going on in these parents' heads. This idea in the name of acceptance and inclusivity to just literally scar your kids. And I'm telling you, watch my overtime. If you're not subscribed, you need to be subscribed to Blaze. Watch my overtime Friday. We're going to deal with this specific topic and just the psychological and spiritual effects that it has on these kids to do this. Do you think this is, like, we're seeing a lot of it because it's June, it's Pride Month. I call it Tuck Your Wiener Month. At this point, because this stuff is just, everything is drag. But by and large, if you go to the pride parades, West Hollywood, California, they don't want the drag people involved in the parade because the trans people are offended by the transvestites. The transgenders are offended by the transvestites because they don't feel like they're going through the same plight. To them, it's not a real life change.
Because they didn't cut it off.
It's a dress-up deal, right? So the fact that Pride Month is celebrating all these drag deals, is this going to go away when June is over?
I think you will see less of them advertised at least, but this is a problem. This isn't just happening, in June during Pride Month. This is happening in every single month across this country.
Yeah.
They're just very good at, kind of hiding them. And, these people wouldn't have to hide these events or be discreet about these events if they weren't doing anything wrong. And even in some interviews that we've done with these drag queens, after the show of them grooming children and shaking it for them, they openly admit, like, will exposing more children to drag create more children drag stars? Yeah, that's our goal. They want their community to grow and grow and grow. And the way that they're doing this is they're targeting children. They can't have their own children, so they turn these kids gay.
Yeah. And we had Brian Slayton, State Representative, Texas District 2, on the show Monday, and I played the voicemail that somebody had sent his, called his cell phone, and basically saying, yeah, we do want to expose children to this because, kids see us as a princess, right? So in their mind, it's kind of this fairy tale idea, but, I just don't, this sexualization aspect of the dancing and the flopping around and the doing the splits and the money in the underwear and stuff like that. This is far more than that. And if anybody thinks these are isolated events, they're not. But you said something a minute ago that's very true. They don't ask questions. They keep a lot of stuff secret. They're good at that, actually.
Very.
People in that, they're very good at keeping their secrets, right? So what secrets are going on? People say, well, you guys are just anti-trans this or transphobic or anti-drag or whatever. And it's like, well, at this point, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, if this is the community that they want to be and they want to publicly represent themselves this way, then absolutely. You could say that because it's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's literally the highest level of child abuse that I've seen, and it's just reoccurring over and over again, and they're open about it like we talked about earlier. They want to turn your kids gay. They want, a world where it's just not repopulated, because that's eventually what this is going to lead to, is it's going to drop birth rates worse than it even is. Like I said, they can't have their own kids, so they'll just turn your kid gay, they'll groom your kid, and have them be essentially a little pawn on the chessboard. And it's terrible. With the hormone transition therapy, they're reversing puberty. There's no coming back from this stuff.
Tell the story real quick. You told me the other day about what you saw happen at the bar. Tell me that story.
Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, we're sitting there at Mr. Mister's, and this is a 21
This is in
year old
Dallas.
establishment. This is in Dallas, Texas, out of all places. And there actually was a bill drafted a while ago where children can't enter sexually oriented businesses. And this is a gay nightclub. It's exclusively for gays. That's how they market it. That's how they advertise. And there's a child sitting at the bar next to me with his 3 mothers, which I thought was pretty peculiar. And he has a Rubik's Cube, and he has a Nintendo DS, and he's very uninterested. And this gay bartender is having a conversation with him, and that's when I overhear this kid say, "No, I'm not gay." And what I believe is, one of the 3 of his mothers pipes in and goes, "No, he's gay. Don't listen to him. He's lying. He's gay." And the look on this kid's face, I mean, I felt it. I mean, in my soul, it's like this kid just shut down. He didn't want to be there. I mean, his mom is telling him, this gay bartender, that he's gay, even though he's not, and is publicly saying it over and over again. And this entire show, I mean, this kid was so uninterested. He didn't watch the drag queens. He didn't even watch anything that was going on. I watched him solve his Rubik's Cube 3 different times. He would undo it just so he could solve it again. And then he just played Nintendo DS the entire time.
Wow. They're trying as hard as they can in this regard. I mean, again, they can't admit that something's going on in their own life, so they have to impart it attempt to impart it to the next generation. And so whether it's that situation or the kid at the Pride Parade, again, I've seen the video where he's looking away because he knows he's looking at something inappropriate. You go to these Pride Parades, you're going to be exposed to genitalia. I've seen it myself. I've been there. I've been to West Hollywood. I've been in New Orleans. I've seen it. I've seen more stuff shaking out there in the wind. And you're going to bring kids to that, and And the other thing that pissed me off before we go to break is everybody kept saying this was an ice cream shop where they had this thing at, because you got the neon says it's not going to lick itself.
And then I licked it, so it's mine.
There you go.
Very appropriate signs to have around children. I can imagine one of these kids is, oh, what is that sign? What does that mean, Mom? I licked it, so it's mine.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's insane that they're able to get away with this. I mean,
and
it's everywhere.
And defend it. It was an ice cream shop. It was an ice cream shop.
And the thing is that neon sign, you can buy it anywhere. It's sold online. So of course they take this the picture of the Cauldron ice cream shop.
Yeah.
And all these groomer defenders, because that's exactly what they are. Oh, and it's the Cope for them. Oh, it's an ice cream shop. Oh yeah, that makes it okay because it's an ice cream shop. But of course it isn't. It was a gay bar. They know it's a gay bar. They know what they did was wrong, and now they're just in damage control right now.
There you go. Hey, obviously these are politically charged times. I want you to vote with your dollars. I've told you about Minutemen Coffee. They're a great solution if you're looking for ways to support a parallel economy, because they are the coffee for patriots. Constitutionally based, family-owned company. They believe that freedom-loving Americans deserve products from companies that share their beliefs. They don't fear cancellation or retaliation from the woke mob. Makes me love them even more. Minutemen Coffee, they believe in your constitutional rights. They're going to send you a copy of the Constitution with every order. And they want to continue to just generate that conversation around your freedom, and I think that's a beautiful thing. It's amazing coffee, small batched, handcrafted from family farms across the globe. I ground some up yesterday. It's incredible coffee, folks. It's roasted to perfection. They deliver it fresh, and you're going to fall in love with it, as I did. Minutemen Coffee has got incredible taste, incredible aroma. It's going to just change your life. So go to minutemencoffee.com. You're going to get a full pound of coffee for less than most companies charge for a cup. They got a special going. You get 3 bags of the Heritage Roast. Add a Trader Joe to your cart. It's going to be free. Or when you go to minutemencoffee.com, you can use offer code CHAD. I spell it Chad. Get 15% off your order. Join the coffee revolution. Wake up without going woke. minutemencoffee.com. Be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back. It's that time in the show where I got to wax eloquent, folks. If there is one thing you can be completely certain that the evil Republicans of this country espouse when they recite the daily litany of their strong as hell beliefs, it's that one should not even say the word gay, much less explore anything surrounding it. Wait a second, I'm describing the people in places like China and the United Arab Emirates. These are just a couple of countries that are banning or are about to ban the new Pixar film Lightyear before it can even hit their theaters. You know why? Because in this film about the beloved character from the Toy Story movies, there's a scene with one woman kissing another woman. Now, I've heard about a movie called Toy Story that involved 2 ladies kissing. You know what I'm talking about? But I think that's something else and probably a story for another time. Anyway, This sure-to-be successful film is nevertheless not going to appear in a number of theaters around the world. Now, please correct me if I'm wrong, but the last time I checked, wasn't the United States the country that everyone thinks of as the worst in the world when it comes to treating gay folks? Don't we sort of have a reputation as being the hate-mongering, two-dimensional bad guy characters in the socio-political mix, always twirling our dark mustache and saying things like, "We don't like your kind around here"? Now, Disney and Pixar are mildly upset about the fact that multiple countries aren't going to be showing Lightyear. You can attribute that to the genuine sadness about the state of the LGBTQ cause around the world, or you can be cynical like me and assume that they're sad about watching those dollars just fly away. But either way, you know who isn't making a big stink about this? Pretty much everybody else. Where, I ask you, where are the Twitter mobs to jump on top of this situation to make everything worse the way they usually do? Where are the outraged woke allies demanding that set in their ways countries with actual anti-gay laws change their tune? Nowhere. They're not there. Nowhere to be found. And why? Why do you suppose that is? In practice, we see people tolerate in other countries what they would decry as homophobia in this one and just chalk it up to their culture being different. The real reason behind it is insidious, but stupid at the same time. You see, the left, as we all know, seeks to subvert the dominant paradigm. You hear me say it every time I talk about this. For generations in this country, that was a society built on the foundation of Judeo-Christian values, and it's that Judeo-Christian part that the wokesters are really afraid of. It's those values that they fight day and night to get rid of because that's what's been here historically, and it's what stands in the way of their hypothetical and mythical utopian dreams. Nobody in the woke left, or at least very few of them, cares what the Muslim world thinks about gays. They could be throwing gay men off the buildings in Saudi Arabia, and all the wokesters will focus on someone saying a naughty word that might offend some gay people over here. It's the dirty little not-so-secret of the left, folks. They don't actually care about any of the groups they supposedly represent. So when Lightyear comes out, you can pretty much bet the farm that anyone in this country who speaks out against it showing a homosexual relationship in a kid's movie will be lambasted to infinity and beyond. But the people overseas who are actually banning the damn thing will mostly be left alone. It's effed up, but that's reality for you. That's where we're living. Sigh. Well, there's another Pixar movie I won't be seeing. I don't care. I just don't care. I just don't care. I don't care. I mean, you know, at the end of Star Wars, they had to put the gay kiss in there. I just don't care. I don't care. I've seen a lot of crazy shit in my life, including Christina Aguilera's penis. Have you seen this? Look at her. I mean, she's up there. I hate that this is blurred out. She's up there at whatever pride celebration they're having here, Taylor. And she's got like a 12-inch green dong hanging off the
Looks
front
like the
of her.
Incredible Hulk.
It's a that's it. I mean, she's got her little costume on, and she's up there dancing around with a big old dinger dong. That's a lot right there. That's
very,
a lot.
very kid appropriate for sure.
Yeah, and so you know, there they are. They're just swinging it around out there, and you know. Why? She's got a genitalia. Why not just expose your own? Why's it got to be that? You know, hang your hoo-ha out, Christina. That old gaping gash and nasty that looks like it probably came off of Merlin's wizard sleeves. You know, you freaking theater curtains. Hang those out there, you bunch of meat chops, like, you know, little Eskimo in a moose canoe full of fresh meat. Nasty Arby's sandwich. But no, she got to hang the wiener out there. Big green wiener. Hey, boy, take your kids out there, man, and give them something wholesome and some entertainment.
Nothing more wholesome than a big old green wiener.
Big green wiener on the front of Christina Aguilera. I am so happy I live in this world right now. You know what's scary? What's scary is you got kids coming along, man, and they're exposed to it. They got to live with the ramifications and consequences of what this thing is going to end up being. Howdy. One more break. We're going to be right back. Tayler Hansen, folks. Taylor with an E. Taylor USA. Follow him, Twitter and all the places. I mean, he's on all the hit lists from all probably the federal government all the way to Antifa.
You've got a few FBI files in my name. That's super fun. Antifa, and now the trans community. You know, it's funny you say that because I've actually received more death threats from my reporting, you know, my undercover reporting on the trans community and these child grooming shows than I have, you know, Antifa, January 6th, all of it combined before.
Be careful.
Very mentally stable, these people are.
Keep up the good
all those
work,
extra
but
hormones, for sure.
Be careful. WatchChad.com. I'll see you tomorrow night, Shawnee, Oklahoma. Come and make your way over there. Come see where we're at WatchChad.com. Where all the fun stuff is. Find us at a live show somewhere. The calendar is filling up. Do not forget, subscribe to BlazeTV.com/Chad. Use promo code Chad to save. We got big stuff coming on overtime. I do not want you to miss it. Plus, you just need to be a member of the club. Have a great weekend. We love you. Talk to you later. Bye.